The year is 2003. The aircraft you are currently looking at is DHL Flight 209, an Airbus A300-200B2 freighter aircraft going from Baghdad International Airport and heading over to Bahrain. There are a total of 3 occupants on board of the aircraft: Flight Engineer Rafail, Captain Genotte and First Officer Michielsen. The time was about 6:10 in the morning, and they were getting the aircraft ready to depart to Bahrain, which is over a 2-hour journey. The captain and the first officer, along with the flight engineer, begin the startup process, getting the screens ready and following the checklist to get the aircraft ready for engine start. The time is now about 6:15. With the aircraft's engine started and the captain getting taxi clearance, they begin their taxi to runway 33 left. Or at least, that's the information I have currently gathered, as I'm currently using the Wikipedia website for all of my information. That will be linked down in the description. As DHL Flight 209 taxied down the taxiway, coming up towards runway 33 left. Little did they know that they were going to end up being in probably one of the worst situations that a pilot could ever end up in. After lining up on runway 33 left and gaining takeoff clearance, they would begin their journey to Bahrain. As the aircraft takes off, it enters a rather steep climb due to the heightened risk of aerial attack in the area. But as this footage entails, once the aircraft reached about 8,000 feet, a missile was shot at the aircraft. The warhead travels towards the aircraft, ending up blowing up and hitting it in the left wing. Most of the wing has been severed and completely destroyed. Only a small chunk, however. But this led to a catastrophic hydraulic failure, making it so no flaps, spoilers, control surfaces, or anything hydraulically powered could work. Now, the only way for the pilots to actually control the aircraft without hydraulics or any control surfaces was via differential thrust, using each of the 2 throttle levers to control the thrust of the aircraft and hopefully guiding it back towards Baghdad Airport. They request an emergency landing, saying that they have no hydraulics. Now here is a short clip of some ATC recordings and communications between DHL 209er and air traffic control about 15 minutes after the missile struck the wing.
Lima Lima. Tower, this is Lima Lima.
Lima Lima, go ahead.
Could you please declare full emergency? We need the fire brigade because our landing gears might collapse as well.
Oscar Lima Lima, all available assistance is available on the field. Everyone is at full alert.
Thank you very much, and no more calls.
Yes, that is the only call that I could find during my research from DHL 209. And basically what this is entailing is they are worried that the gear might collapse. And also what you just noticed in the background was a gravity released gear. Seeing as there is no hydraulic systems, the gear has had to be released via gravity. Now, we only have one problem left. Getting the airplane on the ground. As the airplane touches down on runway 33 left, because there's no hydraulics, they are unable to control the aircraft on the ground, and it veers off the runway into the sand, rolling and rolling with reverse thrust on for over 3,300 feet before finally coming to a stop. Alright, let's pause it for a second. Without the techno music, let's actually be a bit more serious about what just happened. So, about 2 or so minutes after the missile actually struck the aircraft, they actually tried to see if they could fix the problems, as any normal pilot would. But after, they spent about 10 minutes experimenting with the aircraft, relearning how to fly it with its hydraulic failure and part of its wing missing. However, along with the missile striking and pretty much disintegrating part of the wing, it had also gone through and bursted a few of the wing's fuel tanks, making it so fuel could now no longer be brought from the left side of the airplane. This meant that flight engineer Rafail had to keep watch of the engines to make sure they wouldn't die from lack of fuel, and also making sure that the fuel was actually being brought to the engines successfully. From there, they will proceed to do a gravity-lowered gear extension, where gravity is used to bring the landing gear down, seeing as there's no hydraulic power. This was done to help stabilize and slow down the aircraft for landing. Now, it is good to note here that the gravity gear extension is only used for extreme cases, just like this one. As Captain Genotte and cabin pilot Michielsen lined up for runway 33 right, the aircraft ended up drifting off course from the intended 33 right approach path, making it so that they would have to realign instead this time for runway 33 left, which was unfortunately shorter than runway 33 right. Without flaps or spoilers, Captain Genotte had to incredibly carefully guide the aircraft down onto runway 33 left, going around 200 knots, which is way above the safe limit for an aircraft like the A300. About 400 feet above the runway, the right wing dipped. With some thrust adjustments, the roll was fixed, but upon touchdown, the aircraft landed off centerline, veering off the runway and into the sand. They immediately deployed reverse thrust upon touchdown, attempting to slow the aircraft down without brakes, spoilers or flaps. And eventually, after 3,300 feet worth of ground roll, the aircraft finally comes to a stop, with surprisingly no injuries, which I'm very glad there wasn't. The aircraft, however, was a different story. The aircraft was very heavily damaged, and a couple of years later, the aircraft was actually scrapped. Honestly, I believe that aircraft should have been put in a museum, as these pilots did an incredible job of saving the aircraft. But with that is the story of DHL Flight 209. I actually quite enjoyed making this sort of documentary style video. It's a new video style here on the channel, so if you enjoyed it and would like to maybe see me make another one of these, I would gladly do that if you go ahead and ask me. I mean, I might honestly do another one of these on my own accord. But with that, everyone, thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one, buddy. Take care.